It contains mass graves of opponents of Spain's fascist dictator Francisco Franco. Franco ruled Spain from 1939 to 1975. And in this period, he moved the remains of thousands of those he executed to the valley without informing their families. The graves remained out of reach of the families for decades. Until 2018, when Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez made the rehabilitation of these victims a priority.
These are the Wanderers.
In 2014, 3 unmarked mass burial sites were uncovered in Australia's Fraser Island. The graves belonged to 100 indigenous people who had died at the site in 1897. Their deaths were a result of the Bugimba Creek mission, a racial segregation program which ran from 1897 to 1904. This mission was a jail without bars. Hundreds of Aborigines who lived on land where the colonizers wanted to run sheep and cattle were rounded up and sent to the Fraser Island. They were forced to live in appalling conditions with minimal resources. Many died of malnutrition and disease. Today, a monument stands at the burial sites in honor of the victims. But Aborigines still remain the most disadvantaged Australians. In October 2020, a mass grave was uncovered at the Oaklawn Cemetery in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The site contained 12 wooden coffins and as many as 18 bodies. It is located just blocks away from the all-black community of Greenwood, where 300 black Americans were killed in the racial massacre of 1921. Earlier this month, Joe Biden became the first sitting US president to visit a memorial in honor of the victims.
For much too long, the history of what took place here was told in silence, cloaked in darkness. But just because history is silent, it doesn't mean that it did not take place.
Laskin Kola will participate in the meeting of the members of the...
In January this year, Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin issued a formal apology for the treatment of unmarried women and their babies at state and church-run care homes. The apology came after a 6-year-long inquiry concluded that 9,000 children had died at these care homes.
Each of you is blameless. Each of you did nothing wrong and has nothing to be ashamed of. Each of you deserved so much better.
They operated as recently as 1998, but there are no burial records of those who died. The Irish government is now planning to excavate several sites across their territory to give closure to the families. The grim reality of mass graves isn't confined to one time period or one geographical location. They remain scattered across the world, serving as a reminder of the shameful past of their respective countries. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
You cause a lot of death. You cause a lot of death, a lot of destruction, a lot of pain, a lot of loss. And there will be a recompense for the actions you have done. There will be a recompense. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Bukar Kodash. Double honor to my teachers, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Yakim Roy that are sincere and serious in doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Bukar Kodash. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. To you all, and the brother disciple Koshab Banyame for the branch of the Great Millstone, Barbados. Habakkuk 2 verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So they cause nothing but death, man. Never satisfied, always want more. You understand? See, the phone had to go off, man. Always want more, man. You see? Revelation 6 and 4. And they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And they beheld a little black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. That represents slavery. That represents us children of Israel, Judah, all the way down to Yashashkar, which is the Hebrew word of Saint Issachar, which means he is hired. We were oppressed together. In fact, let me get that. Let me get that. Come back to that. Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So all that had us captives held us fast. We had, meaning that where was I? Salakia, right? Verse 5, right? So they had a firm grip on us. You understand? Verse 6, Revelation 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. That's the slave trade. Sold the boy for harlot and the girl for wine. That also happened. That happened to the whole nation of Israel, man. This is Joel. Joel. Three and 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. The whole nation of Israel, man. Judah all the way down to Yashashkar, man. That's right. Daniel 9:7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces as at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are afar off, to all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. You say? Verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, of the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. Yeah, so we were into slavery because we disobeyed the Most High. So he sent the enemy, Esau, Edom, for us. Verse 12, and he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. So that was a very serious time. but there's going to be a recompense for everything they have done. More graves are found at Canadian schools for the indigenous. These are our brothers and sisters over there, Northern Kingdom. Ephraim, Aparium, I am fruitful, Manasseh, forget that name, Salakia. Wait, up here, Salakia. All the way down to Issachar, right? Manasseh, made to forget, right? Simeon, Shemaiwan, affliction heard. Reuben with Arbon, see as a son. Gad, troop, God. Naphtali, Napatalua, wrestling. Zebulon, Zabalawan, dwelling. Right? Asher, Ashar, which means happy. You know? So I can't forget any. You know? The purpose of Canada's residential schools for indigenous children was to kill the Indian. Woo! Whoa! I remember this quote, boy. I forget who the man name. Maybe here. Kill the Indian in the child. But there was one that says, save the man, kill the Indian. I forget who that general in the name, boy. Save the man, kill the Indian. Sometimes the child died too. Over the past month, 1,148 unmarked graves have been found at the sites of 3 former residential schools. Ground-penetrating radar confirmed that indigenous groups have long suspected that more children died at these schools than was previously thought. Whoa. God damn, boy. Beginning in the mid-1800s, the Canadian government forced at least 150,000 indigenous children into residential school. This was part of the way to kill. This was one of the methods they used to control us. I had that written down a while back in a book I got home. In a book I got my father, boy. Whoa. Slakia, man. Mostly run by the Roman Catholic Church. The last closed in the late 1990s. Children were beaten for speaking their native language. Whew. Hey, Jeremiah 17 and hey, wait a minute, man. I gotta get that preset, boy. Boy, there's gonna be a lot of payback, boy. Yo. Woo. Jeremiah 17. Right, Jeremiah 17 and Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from the heritage that they gave thee. So they beat our heritage out of us, man. Remember the movie Roots? What is your name? Akunta Kinte. Your name is Toby. Akunta Kinte. Your name is Toby.
I want to hear you say your name. Your name is Toby. What's your name? Kunta.
Lord God, help that boy. They're gonna whip him dead.
What's your name? Say it. Toby. Who are you? Say your name. What's your name?
Toby.
And thou, even thyself, Jeremiah 17:4, shalt discontinue from the heritage that I gave thee, and it will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For he have kindled a fire in mine anger, it shall burn forever. Right? So you saw your little clip there. You know how one of the ways there gave us a new name, etc. You know what I mean? Genesis 49:19, guard a troop, which the word guard means troop, because they were overcome by a troop. Guard a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. This is the quote here: kill the Indian, save the man. And the man they were talking about saving was Esau Edom. You know what I mean? Kill the Indian, save the man. The genocidal impact of American Indian residential schools is a 2004 book by the American writer Ward Churchill, then a professor at Colorado University, activist on Native American issues, right? So let me see if I right. It says Native American, beginning in the late 19th century, it traces the history of the United States and Canadian governments establishing Indian boarding schools or residential schools, respectively, where Native American children were required to attend to encourage their study of English, conversion to Christianity, and the assimilation to the majority culture. The boarding schools were operated into the 1980s. Because the schools often prohibited students from using their native languages and practicing their own cultures, Churchill considers them to have been genocidal in intent. Yep. This is it here, boy. Right? So pretty much they can just shut the shop there. Just a short video. I saw a lot. I remember they did a video last week about the mass graves found in forget what it was, but then I saw this one in Canada. See, and then with the recent pulling down of that statue, amongst other things, now we are seeing God rising up. Along, let me get one more preset along with the whole nation. Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey my son thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Yep. So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.